social media.
So there's a lot more to talk about. So we told you there was a search of the home that he appeared to have been staying in the Hollywood Hills. So we now find out that they were testing for blood. There's something called luminol, which can light up a floor.
Everyone's seen this on CSI.
Yeah.
That they spray it and it, allows them to see if there are traces of blood, even if it's been cleaned up.
Have you been seeing the thing about the David kid, the artist that was dating a 13-year-old?
Yeah.
Found the body in his trunk.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
He didn't do it.
Out of here, all the evidence that's out there.
When they gonna let it stay out this long and they got a little bit of evidence? They didn't arrest way less evidence. If nothing else, put him in jail just to put a hold on him.
A dead body found in your car?
Listen, hold on. If they find a dead body in me and your car, and this is our car, do you think they'll let me and you stay out like long? They got all, so think about this. If they got all this information on him dating a minor, an underage kid, and she look like a white girl, mixed girl, what nigga they let just stay free like this? They don't let black men get away with these kind of crimes, Sean. Not in America. Not under this president. Not under this president, homie. Not under this president.
Okay, guys, so Charleston White just dropped his 2 cents on the whole David and Celeste Rivas situation. And let's just say he's not exactly buying the headlines. According to Charleston, he's not convinced David was even romantically involved with Celeste Rivas, let alone responsible for unaliving her. He's saying if David really did either of the two, the feds would have swooped in by now. After all, plenty of black celebs have been arrested for way less, and America has never gone easy on them. But David's out there walking around as a free man. But here's where it gets even messier. Charleston is alleging that David might have been blackmailed, and when he called their bluff, they had Celeste Rivas unalived to get him into issues with law enforcement. So what do y'all think Charleston White might be onto something with that wild theory that somebody's trying to frame David for Ayo's Celeste? Grab a seat and let's unpack this. Okay, y'all, in case you haven't been keeping up, here's how this whole wild saga kicked off. Westview cops got a flood of complaints about a super funky smell coming from a fancy car impound in Hollywood Heights. When they rolled up to check it out, and when they got to the car impound, they found the decomposed remains of a girl, later ID'd as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, who had been missing since April 2024. It turns out that Celeste Rivas had been reported missing as far back as April 2024. She actually turned up at home for a bit, but a few weeks later, she vanished again. So when news broke that a dismembered girl had been found in the trunk of a Tesla, her mom freaked out, reached out to TMZ, and TMZ hit up the authorities, who finally confirmed the body's identity. So, according to insiders, the girl's mom told investigators that her daughter had been secretly seeing 20-year-old David, and the police later uncovered that David and Celeste even had matching tattoos. At first, the internet was totally gripped, but people were still giving David a pass because there were rumors that some of his crew borrowed his car from time to time. But when screenshots dropped showing that David and Celeste actually had a thing going on, the internet lost its mind. Now, fans went full internet detective mode, digging through every old live stream and post to find out how deep this went. And honestly, David had been flaunting the whole situation right in everyone's face.
Media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
Nobody picked up on it except for one follower who months ago left a bold comment on one of his TikToks, calling him out before anyone else even caught on. He said, waiting for LAPD to get you for messing with a 13-year-old girl. From the looks of it, that mystery comment definitely came from somebody with serious inside scoop on David and Celeste's secret fling. Fans are already speculating it had to be either someone tight with David's crew or maybe one of Celeste's friends who knew all about the hush-hush romance. And it gets even shadier. People who claim they knew Celeste are saying her family wasn't exactly in the dark. Allegedly, they knew what was up, but kept quiet because David was supposedly throwing cash their way. Word on the street, he was even slipping hush money to a few of Celeste's friends to keep anyone from spilling the tea.
Popular artist got caught giving thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating a minor. Yup. Who knows if he's still dating this minor, though.
Chow, the tea just keeps getting hotter. So, detectives reportedly raided David's apartment from top to bottom, and going by pictures making the rounds online, they may have stumbled upon serious evidence that could help build a case.
Social media.
So there's a lot more to talk about. So we told you there was a search of the home that he appeared to have been staying in the Hollywood Hills. So we now find out that they were testing for blood. There's something called luminol, which can light up a
Everyone's
floor.
seen this on CSI.
Yeah.
That they spray it and it, allows them to see where if there are traces of blood, even if it's been cleaned up.
So they were looking, on the floors. They were looking in drains to see if there were any traces of blood. We don't know what the results of the search were, but it's significant because the Tesla that contained her body in the trunk was parked nearby. And so it seems like their working theory is she might have been killed
if she were
in the house.
killed or dismembered in the house and then placed in that car and parked, a block and a half away.
Right, and we should say that the police have not named a suspect yet. The police have not named a person of interest yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have one.
Now, David's place is only about a 6-minute drive from the luxury car lot where his ride was eventually found. So the detectives believe David might have unalived her in his home, dumped the dismembered body in his car before driving it down to the impound. But just when fans were discussing what the feds might have found in David's house or what his motives were for unaliving, Celeste Charleston White weighed in on the conversation and dropped his 2 cents on the whole situation. And y'all, he brought a new perspective to the discussion. Charleston White is not buying these allegations one bit. He's saying if David was really guilty, the cops would have snatched him up already and worried about the investigation later, especially if they thought he might try to run. Charleston points out that black men have been thrown behind bars for way less. So the fact that David is still out here walking free and even hitting the stage, to him that screams the feds don't believe he did it. And get this, Charleston isn't even convinced David was romantically involved with Celeste. He's basically saying if those rumors about David messing with her and allegedly harming her were true, especially with her body being found in his car, there's no way the feds would have just let David continue walking. Take a seat and listen to what he said.
Have you been seeing the thing about the David kid, the artist that was dating a 13-year-old?
Yeah.
Found the body in his trunk.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
He didn't do it.
Out of here, all the evidence that's out there.
When they gonna let it stay out this long and they got a little bit of evidence? They didn't arrest with way less evidence. If nothing else, put him in jail just to put a hole on him.
A dead body found in your car?
Listen, hold on. If they find a dead body in me and your car, and this is our car, do you think they'll let me and you stay out like long? They got all, so think about this. If they got all this information on him dating a minor, an underage kid, and she looked like a white girl, mixed girl, what nigga they let just stay free like this? We already claim about injustices. You don't think, like we see in all the first 48s and crime units victims, they would find some kind of reason to hold him and keep him, make sure he don't do nothing to flee? They're not, no arrest. They got all this evidence to point to say he did it. He done sliced the body up because the body was butchered. So that means somewhere there's a location where there's been blood, where they cut the lights. They got all this, no arrest? Y'all really think he done this and everything points at him? That's why you can't go with this. If everything points at him, why hadn't they made no arrest when we see niggas get arrested with less evidence? With less evidence, circumstantial evidence they go to trial with. So you mean to tell me if he was really messing with her and they got proof and evidence, if nothing else, they get him on sex charges with a minor so we can at least hold him in jail while we investigate this murder, while we can put pressure on him. See, right now, there's no pressure on him to talk or nothing. So obviously, the evidence don't really point at him. They don't let black men get away with these kind of crimes, Sean. Not in America. Not under this president. Not under this president, homie. Not under this president.
Charleston even doubled down by pointing out that way bigger black celebs think O.J. Simpson, Diddy, Lil Durk, and a few others have been hauled off on nothing more than circumstantial evidence.
Oh, he's talking about her music.
So you mean to tell me O.J. was found with a bloody glove, he was arrested immediately. Admitted with all the circumstantial evidence they found on OJ, they placed it. So you mean to tell me they got all of this on this and he still get to move freely amongst America, and they had to say, hey, we need to house arrest him, we need to do something. Nothing. We don't have no evidence of him going into the police station talking to nobody, but all of this evidence is against him. And y'all want me to believe that a black man in America get to move this freely with this much negative publicity on him, and he's possibly guilty. I like to think outside the box. I like to think outside the box, guys. Why would they let him walk this free? I'm saying, homie, listen, y'all want me to believe that we're mistreated by the police. So what y'all always saying? That it's unfair, we don't get a fair shot. Why are they giving him a fair shot then? With all the evidence. And this is circumstantial. And we seen them go to trial on circumstantial evidence. Lil Durk. This is a high profile case that any prosecutor, any FBI investigator would want to get on to get this guy.
So, to him, the fact that David is still out here walking free is a pretty clear sign. The feds themselves probably don't believe he actually did everything he's being accused of. But hold up, Charleston White isn't stopping there. He's now claiming that somebody out there actually tried to blackmail David, and when he didn't cave, they allegedly set him up, going as far as to harm Celeste and stash her body in his car to make it look like he was guilty. Charleston says the Tesla's built-in cameras are going to be the smoking gun, showing exactly who put the body in the car or even who drove it to the impound. And he's adamant David didn't do it. He even took a swipe at the feds, calling them out for ignoring the bigger picture, like how so many teens go missing, only to later turn up around powerful Hollywood music execs. Charleston is urging a full sweep of major labels and insider circles, claiming that too many of these wealthy industry players are taking advantage of vulnerable minors because their money keeps them untouchable. Charleston White, alleging that David might not be guilty of the crimes leveled against him, had fans talking, and they left comments saying, "I think bros should be under the jail." But as of right now, they have no proof of a sexual relationship between the two. They have no concrete proof that he committed the murder. Y'all gotta realize Charleston went to jail for a body, and it was only a small bit of evidence that got them three locked up. Charleston snitched. It's really weird how this guy, D4vd, ain't get arrested yet with all this evidence on him. He's right. The littlest bit of evidence will get somebody arrested and held so they can't flee while they build the case. Look at Melly. They are still building the case. And for a second time, he's been locked up for 6 years. Not saying this dude is innocent. It's just weird. So what do y'all think? Could Charleston White be onto something when he says David's not really guilty of those allegations? Or is there a whole lot more to this story than the media's letting on? Drop your thoughts in the comments and then go peep the next video.